Welcome to Freelance Sucks. Here we discuss the dark side of freelancing about which nobody usually talks out loud. In this show, we speak with experienced freelancers, and I'm sure listening to their stories helps you prepare for freelancers' challenges. My name is Yuri, I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Kaja Storbeck, a human relations manager and a recruitment consultant who manages to handle full-time job and freelancing activities at the same time. So, welcome Kaja.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm very excited for our talk today.
It's always hard to find a person who is openly talking about working both full-time and freelancing, because sometimes I know that freelancers are hiding from their full-time jobs that they are freelancing, so they don't want to intersect these two worlds. But you are a great example, and I would love to learn from about your experience. So for you, what is the most challenging part of juggling a full-time job with freelancing?
Ooh, that's a good question to start into it, I would say. I mean, there's a couple of challenges, but you asked me about the most challenging part. It's about time management and focus. That's what I would answer. Because, of course, my focus at the moment is, I have to be honest, more on my full-time job. Because, it's just 8 hours a day or even more going into the office because I go into the office every day. So, of course, from the time that I have in a day, there's nothing, there's not that much left, of course. So, but I still do have my freelancing business where I, give out, where I do like consulting for startups and agencies when it comes to HR. When they want to scale and what kind of problems they have, and remote teams, how they want to build. So that's what I do. And the time management is very interesting. Let's call it like that.
How do you ensure that your full-time and freelancing lives do not stay in the way of each other?
I think for me, it definitely helps that I do my full-time job every day in the office because I love the office. I love to go there. So it's really like a separation, right, that I have. So when I come back home, I know, okay, I am focusing now on my freelancing business, and I have my own laptop where I do my freelancing stuff on. So it doesn't come together, because in my office I have like a separate laptop, and so I don't get like any notifications which could then easily interrupt,
Yeah.
get me into different minds. So I really have those two things separated. And I also do have, for my time management, I do have like set it days where I want to focus on my freelance business during the week.
Talking about time management, it's something that freelancers always struggling with because they always want to do everything at the same moment all together. What are some systems that you use for better time management?
What really helps me is to, I don't know how you really call it in English, but to put like blockers in,
Okay.
right? So for me, it's like 3 days a week where I put like a blocker into my calendar and said, hey, there's no time for friends or, I don't know, going out or anything. It's really 1 hour where I focus on my freelance business, or sometimes even 2 or 3, where I do not go on my phone, where I do really put my focus on that, right? And do not get interrupted, or I don't know, do like any other plans, because I can do that the next day or the previous day, but that day is blocked for me in my freelance business.
It's so easy to get distracted when you receive a message on LinkedIn or some message on your phone pop up, or I don't know, like the dog is barking somewhere
Yeah.
or the bird is flying over the window. So how do you ensure that you are staying focused and remove all the distractions?
Yeah, as you just said, remove all the distractions, disruptions. So put your phone away, really close all the windows you have open so there's not a message that pops up, and really, I mean, what helps me is to write down smart targets, smart goals that I want to achieve. For example, today I want to, I don't know, send out 5 emails and get 2 responses, and I don't know, make like one new client or something like that, or finish this because the deadline is then. So I really write it down for my blogger, what my goal is that I want to achieve. And until this is not achieved, I'm not going on any other platforms or on my phone. And this really helps me, right? And of course, it doesn't help anyone if you're sitting there for 7 hours and you don't get the task done. That also doesn't help. So if I feel like after maybe 1 hour of focus or 2 hours of focus, and I'm still not there yet, or I don't know, I cannot concentrate, I really do make a break, go outside or eat something, and then try to get back on track after that.
Sometimes when you're working on a full-time job or doing some kind of project, it's always with you. So as a freelancer myself, I am always saying clients that I cannot tell you my hourly rate because when we are working on a project, I can be on a walk and thinking about the project and some ideas can come to my mind. So if you are doing a full-time job and a freelancing, you have double thoughts and they can intersect. So I'm curious, what is the most nerve-wracking thing you must deal with while balancing full-time job and freelancing?
Yeah, of course, sometimes when I think about the deadlines, or if I'm having a bad day at work or in my freelance business, I mean, I do every one of us does mistakes that can happen. So it's like, oh my gosh, how do I, deal with that now? But it helps me really, like the separation. And at work I have my team lead, who's helping me with everything I'm struggling with. And in my freelance business I do have my community, which I got to know via LinkedIn, for example. I do have some people that I can reach out to or text or phone, give them a phone call. So that really helps me if I am struggling with something, or if I need help.
One of my questions was if you feel professional loneliness at your freelance part, but you already answered that you have a community of people and friends who can support and who can you talk to. And I feel like it's something that also freelancers are missing. They try to tackle everything on their own. They try to deal with everything by themselves, and then they're burning out or they're freaking out and they don't know what to do. But I guess I'm curious, like, what role the community plays in your professional journey? It can be both full-time and
Yeah.
freelancing.
I mean, definitely a big role because you don't have to deal with everything by yourself, right? There's so many freelancers out there who have been exactly at the point where you are right now, or have been exactly with the struggling with the same thing that you are struggling with right now. So why go through it all by yourself if maybe someone can give you a tip, and then this whole struggle isn't even a struggle anymore, because you can solve it within seconds instead of solving it within hours by yourself.
Yeah.
And of course, this community, let's say, doesn't grow overnight. That also didn't happen to me. That's very important to mention because, when I went out on LinkedIn, it took me like a few months, even a year, where I really got to know some people. We talked, we met in person. Then they introduced me to some communities where they say, hey, I got great experiences there, so it really, you have to take time into building this and into trusting people and getting to know people and what they have been through. So really don't put the pressure on you, but also do not be afraid of asking for help and being proactive, and go on
Yeah.
proactively and go out to communities and really reach out and say like, hey, are you interested in having like a coffee chat or whatever it is? And there's so many options to really reach out and ask for help. And I think a lot of people should, be more proactively doing this.
I don't know a single freelancer who became successful overnight, but I know many freelancers who were building, and at some point they finally break through. They finally got to the point that they wanted to. So if you are a freelancer who are listening right now and you are still thinking that, oh, you will start my LinkedIn journey tomorrow and then you will have everything, no, you won't. So just start it today and start building, and hopefully in a few years you'll build your personal community on LinkedIn around. So I'm curious, if your friend wanted to become a freelancer, what are top 3 things you'd advise them to consider before doing it?
Really think about where you want to stick out and what your skill is, where you want to go out into the world and get notified for, right? Because I know a lot of people that go out there and say like, hey, I can do this, 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 this. And it's so confusing because it's like way too much, you know? You need to have like one topic that people know, okay, freelancing, I go out and reach this person for that topic. Or if it's about, I don't know, personal branding or LinkedIn or whatever topic it is, that really people build a connection there, right? Then second, as I said, it's all about network. So really go out there, go on events, go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is such a good platform, and there's so many people on this platform, but I think it's like only 1 or 2% that are really actively posting on LinkedIn and really being active there. I mean, it's crazy from all the numbers you have on there, right? And there's so many people that are not active, but they do read your posts. And I would say do not underestimate this platform because it can help a lot. It has helped me a lot, right? I have required all my clients that I work with via LinkedIn in my freelancing business. So that's crazy. It's crazy to say.
Yeah, but it works. And yeah.
Yeah. And then the third thing, really check how you want to, deal with the time that you have. How do you want to put like your focus time, or as I call it, like deep dive sessions, right? And really, make it smart, make it that it works for you, especially when you have a full-time job next to it. But also if you're full-time freelancing, you have to just make it smart so it works for you and you can really focus in your deep dive sessions.
I wish to have the sky as the limit, but time is the limit to our conversation. So the final question, if you were starting freelancing today, what is one thing you would have done differently?
I would have, that's a really good question. What would I have done differently? I don't know. Actually, I mean, of course, you can always say, oh my gosh, I wish I would have done this sooner or that sooner. I'm just happy how the way it goes. And I'm really happy that I've done all the mistakes that I did, actually. I know it sounds a little bit, but it's true, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. But of course, I have to say, I'm very proud of myself and very happy that I did start with LinkedIn and being very active there because it has helped me a lot. And so this is like my recommendation. So if there's anyone out there listening to it or watching it, if you need LinkedIn tips, let me know. Help.
Got it. Kaja, thank you so much for sharing your experience and for having such an open conversation.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button or 5 stars and share it with your friend. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.